So, Jack's Hacks the launch. Welcome to the first video that we're doing. It's been a long time coming, but when you are a business owner, you tend to get caught up in the day-to-day things. And these videos are one thing that I've been wanting to release for quite some time. So the first video is what is on Jack's desk. So what do I do in my office? I have been working from home for probably about 4 to 5 years. I tend to work from home most of the time. Sometimes I'm working on a site or from site. But I have a fairly efficient process that I'm sticking to and I love. And I actually think that I'm very productive at home. I know that there's a lot of people out there that have made the transition from office working to home working. So I hope this potentially will help you. They're not necessarily anything outrageous. They're just, some of them are quite obvious things, but it may be worthwhile letting you know what we do to help what I do in my business and make sure I'm more efficient. So starting off from my desk, I always have a dual monitor. It's quite often when you're doing 2 different types of work or translating information from one screen to another, you're twice as efficient. Also, you can have something working in the backdrop. So my left monitor here, I tend to always have my calendar and drive up and maybe any spreadsheets. And on the right hand side, which is my Mac, I tend to have all the basic stuff. So emails and all the stuff that I'm really focusing on, then I can deviate my attention to the other monitor. So I always focus on having 2 monitors. If I go to America to visit my wife or anything like that, I have to pre-arrange a second monitor, which just sounds pretty outrageous, but it's true. So what else is on my desk? Water. We always keep water by my side. It's great to keep hydrated. It keeps the mind and the brain going. I don't suppose many people need to be told that. So I'm working around left to right. We have here a timer. So if there's anything that's really urgent for you to do, so like a really monetizing task, so i.e. legal documents are with you for a purchase that needs to be done pretty quickly, someone sends you a prospect that needs to be turned around pretty quickly, I always keep this by my side. This is actually a 20-minute timer. You can buy them off eBay, Amazon for pretty cheap, between 10 and 15 quid. And what you do is, if there's something you need to be done and you get distracted, get this guy out, put your phone upside down on the table, and then put this timer on there. You're allowed to look at your phone when this timer's up or when you've completed the task. And it just ensures that you're more efficient carrying out that particular task. And I find it a good way to focus. And if that thing is on your phone, you don't look at your phone until the time is done. So that's another top trick. All right, moving around from there, we'll actually discuss, I've got an extension lead here, which you can't actually see behind my water bottle, but it's got a 4-socket bank and 2 USB sockets. Calculator, we run off spreadsheets every single day. So I'm pretty much head in a spreadsheet every single day, but you can't beat quick tapping away. I'll be on a Zoom call, my left hand will be working away. When you get more familiar with what you're pound and you work out pound per square foot rates, bill per square foot rates, and areas that you're currently looking in, these things are key to just do a quick analysis of certain things. Maybe you're doing a quicker percentage. So I always keep a calculator on my desk. Here, this is just a bit of basically all my card readers for various different business bank accounts. I like to have those on hand just in case I'm making any particular payments. I should probably put those in my filing cabinet, but I don't. One little one, but is pretty key for me. I have to have a keyboard that has a numerical bank on the right hand side. So you would see most normal keyboards would stop here. But if you're working with numbers and a lot of spreadsheets all the time, I have to have a numerical bank on the right hand side that's similar to the layout of a calculator when you look at it, but I have to have one of those. Not forgetting the desk itself. If you can't just see here, but this is a stand-up desk. So at any point of the day, normally during difficult phone calls, conference calls with maybe people that I haven't spoken to before, cold calls, always get that desk up. So I'm standing at full height. It's good for the back, it's good for the energy, helps you sort of really project what you're saying, and is really good for pitching. So this is a stand-up desk. This was about 250 quid online. And I love it. You sort of pick what height you want. Sometimes I kneel on my chair and work at mid-height. Sometimes I work at full height, but it's pretty key. Moving around, there's not much to say about a mouse. Some people prefer a trackpad, but I've got a mouse. And then you can see over there a notepad, which no matter how much people like using Asana or to-do lists on your Mac or on your computer, I love a handwritten to-do list. There's more essential things that go on there. Filing cabinet in the back there. On the filing cabinet, I have all our business goals, all essential information. So if we've got a mortgage that has a repayment date or potentially a loan that's coming in, all that information goes on there. But predominantly it's my goals that I stick up on the filing cabinet, so they're easily at eye level when I need to see them. Bits of junk on top of my filing cabinet, so business cards, receipts, things like that, all the boring stuff. And then in my filing cabinet, I have one folder per project or per business. So if a business is set up, it gets a whole new folder, goes in the filing cabinet, and then if that business then purchases a property, then it's a whole new folder for that particular property. So that's the filing cabinet. Up here we have the mouth of basically southwest, southeast of England. My geography is actually pretty good, but it's nice to be able to spin around on my chair when I'm speaking to someone. They've said I've got a site in such and such, and I can sort of allocate where it is and see what where it is if it's, you know, further than 2 hours away from where I am. So it's just really handy to have that when I'm on the phone. You can probably guess that all of this around me is really sort of symmetrical, so that when I'm in flow of work, I can really quickly extract information, which brings me on to the next one. This is our pipeline board. So on this downside, we have projects that we're doing, and on this row across here in each column, we have what stage we are at with them. So whether we're setting up the business, the SPV, so the specialist purchase vehicle that we're buying the asset with, setting up the bank or whatever it may be, and I make sure that we follow that tally around. Round to this side, which you can't actually see, I've got 2 7-foot whiteboards that are huge. They basically cover a whole wall, and they have all of our existing projects on. And on those existing projects, I have the full address and name of that project, the company number that owns it, the current stage where we're at, and what type of project there is. So if someone calls me up and it's a delivery outside that certain project, property, whatever it may be, I know the postcode, I know the company that runs that. When you work in developments or asset owning, you tend to own several different companies to make sure your company structure is right. So I know all that information just by spinning around on my chair. So I hope you've enjoyed the first video. I was told to keep it, try and keep it short by Lewis, but obviously there's quite a lot on my desk. So any questions on any of this, send me a message. Happy to help, whether you want a link to what monitor I've got or whatever it may be, send me a message. But pleasure doing the first one. I look forward to doing more.